Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Today, I want to talk about a kind of work that often does not begin with a business plan. It begins with a need. A sibling needs help, an elder needs support, a family member starts stepping in, a neighbor becomes dependable. What begins as compassion or obligation slowly becomes something larger. This presentation is about that shift when personal care work stops being informal help and starts becoming a real business built on trust, continuity, and responsibility. Most people see personal care work as something simple and familiar. They think of it as helping out, checking in, making sure someone is safe, fed, or not alone. They may see it as family duty, kindness, or community support rather than an enterprise. But that surface view misses something very important. Once the work becomes recurring, paid, and expected, it starts carrying the same pressures as a business: reliability, scheduling, accountability, and the need to protect trust every single day. What is really going on is that the service is bigger than the task. A family is not only paying for companionship or assistance, they are paying for continuity. They are paying for they are paying for the confidence that someone dependable will be there when they cannot be. That means the hidden business is not just care, the hidden business is the stability of another household. Once families begin organizing their lives around that care, the work has already become more than just informal help. In many households and communities, care does not begin in a facility or an institution. It begins in the family. It begins with cultural expectations, household duty, and the belief that elders should be supported close to home. In some communities, caring for older relatives is not seen as optional. It is seen as part of responsibility, respect, and identity. That means many care enterprises do not emerge from the market first. They emerge from the family culture first and only later becomes formalized into a paid and structured service. Families usually do not choose care services the same way they choose ordinary products. They begin with trust. A need arises, and they ask family, friends, church members, neighbors, or their wider community if they know someone dependable. A caregiver is introduced. Support begins. If the service is consistent, the family starts building around. The caregiver becomes part of that household's rhythm. And if the trust holds, one strong relationship often leads to referrals, repeat work, and the beginning of a real personal care enterprise. A personal care worker becomes a business owner when support becomes repeatable, trusted, and structured enough that other people begin building around it. Families begin scheduling around it. Relatives depend on it. Payments become recurring. Expectations become more formal. Communication becomes a necessity. And once that happens, the work is no longer informal help. It is a business service model. The caregiver is no longer only just a helper, they are becoming a operator of care. Many care businesses do not begin as businesses, they begin as obligations. Someone in a family steps in because there's no one else, or because the family believes that is what should happen. Over time, though, that duty can evolve into a trusted service, first for one household, then perhaps another, then maybe for a wider network of families who need that same dependable support. So the business is not born from abstraction, It is born from responsibility that gives it a different character from many other businesses. It is rooted in trust before it is rooted in scale. What turns care into a real enterprise? First, trust, then consistency, then communication, then scheduling, boundaries, and the ability to provide dependable support again, and again. A real care business also needs legitimacy, whether that comes from reputation, referrals, community standing, or more formal compliance systems. And as it grows, it will need staffing, processes, and backup capacity. This is where many people discover that being good at caring and being able to build a care business not exactly the same thing. The business side requires structure around your caring, compassionate ways. A family care enterprise can begin with one person helping one elder in one home. But if that trust is strong, the quality is consistent, and the support dependable, that work can grow. A second family asks for help. A referral comes in. A schedule fills up. A pattern forms. What began as care inside one household can become a recognizable service for a wider community. This is why this topic matters so strongly. It shows how family ruling work can evolve into real entrepreneurship without losing its human core of compassion. The future of care businesses will depend on more than just your overwhelming compassion alone. It will depend on whether trusted support can be organized into durable systems without losing dignity, warmth, and humanity. As populations age and more families balance work, caregiving, and that inevitable household strain, the need for dependable personal care will only become more visible and magnified. That creates a tremendous opportunity, but also responsibility. The strongest care businesses will be the ones that combine trusted presence with real structure, not one at the expense of the other. Caring is a deeply human work, but it also can become a very serious enterprise. The hidden business model is not just the sale of help, it is the creation of stability, continuity, and relief for households that cannot carry the full burden of care alone. So, the final question is this: when does helping someone through the day become a business? It happens when trust, time, and responsibility become organized enough to support not just one person, but a whole household ecosystem. Thank you.